So you're falling for one of the biggest traps right now. You think you're creating content for your ICP, but in reality, you're just creating content for yourself. And this is the trap that I've fallen into as well. You think creating problem solution driven videos, creating problem solution driven reels actually is going to help you attract your ICP. It's not. That's not the case. And I'm going to tell you everything inside of this video, exactly how the biggest people in the info space that you look up to, the biggest people in this coaching, personal branding space that you look up to, how they are able to actually convert attention, get the right attention. And I'm going to reveal everything in this video. So you want to stick around for this.
In this life, I gotta get rich, I can't be broke. I was asking favors, and everyone telling me no. Wait till the tables turn, we'll see who stays or goes.
My name is Rohit and I'm the founder of Clients Forge, and we basically help coaches, infopreneurs build personal brands. Let me show you one important thing that I want you to understand. It's a concept in psychology known as social validation. This is the reason why you don't get your ICP to watch your videos. This is the core component that you have been missing, the missing piece in your puzzle. See, social validation is the tendency for you to always want to be validated for what you believe things to be as true. This is something that is very, very important. We as humans, all right, believe things to be true. We have certain belief systems, and the way we view the world is based on these belief systems. So if you have a path, let's say there are two paths right here, the red pill and the blue pill, you're going to choose the path which actually satisfies your belief systems. But what does that have to do with your videos? You need to understand this. The videos you are creating at the moment are not directly targeted towards the ICP at all. They're not meant for the ICP. They are meant for you because you want to feel good about yourself. Think about it like this. When was the last time someone messaged you, DM'd you saying, you know what, Rohit, your videos were actually transformational. They changed my life. They changed my perspective. Remember that statement. Probably not. The reason why is because you have this innate tendency of social validation. That means you believe that creating valuable content in terms of problem solution driven videos is the way to attract your ICP. And so because you believe this statement to be true, you create problem driven solution videos. Now, let me explain this in a way easier sense so you understand the importance of this statement right here. If your ICP, let's say, needs a bandage to solve their problem, and everybody has told you online that to attract your ICP, you need to give them an apple. And so, what you're doing, because you believe this to be true, you are giving out apples to your ICP. But your ICP needs a band aid, not apples, so they never convert. This is the basic issue that you're falling into. This is the trap I've fallen into many, many times. I've seen so many people fall into this trap of social validation. You tend to believe things to be true, which is why you view the world in a certain way. And because you view the world in a certain way, you're creating these content assets to satisfy your own belief, not actually provide the right solution for your ICP. Because you need to understand this. What worked 3 months ago will not work now. That is obsolete. Think about it like this, bro. Bro, we went from having literal planes, like trash planes, broken down planes, to bomber aeroplanes. How was that even possible in 100 years? Okay, in 100 years we achieved so many transformations. You're saying your niched market is not going to change in the last 3 months? Of course it is. Then why are you doing things that people did 3 months ago? I did this myself. Let me show you some proof right over here. These are the last few reels I've uploaded. This one specifically is not a problem solution driven reel. This one is. This one isn't. This one isn't. Tell me which worked good and well for me. Oh, but Rohit, this one is going to attract high ICP videos. ICP is going to watch this. Yeah, they did. But guess what? They don't care. You see, this is literal tangible proof right over here. These two reels are not problem solution driven. I'm going to talk about exactly what these reels were in a few seconds, in a few minutes, so you understand why I'm doing this. But I have pivoted from creating problem solution driven reels because you need to understand this. Everybody in the market is doing it because of this guy, Nick Setting, one of the greatest, biggest people in this info space, in the personal branding space. Subi, all of these people are doing the same thing. Let me explain this right over here. Look at the latest video by Nick Setting. How I got 91,000 Instagram followers and more consulting clients from the profile funnel. What does he sell? The profile funnel. What does this video do? Does this video give you the right steps to build your own profile funnel? Of course it does. But what does it overarchingly do? Take a moment to think about it. What does it overarchingly do? Overarchingly, it educates you on the topic of the profile funnel. Let's take a look at this. How I built a $10 million business using just Instagram. Does he walk you through the steps? Of course he does. But what does it overarchingly do? Give you the belief system that profile funnel is the way. This is a client testimony. Another video. What do all of these do? All of these videos, these ones right away, look at this. Profit content ecosystem selling to rich people. Watch me build and sell an info offer in 10 hours. How to sell B2C info products with Instagram ads. All of these does two things for you. Number one, it gives you the right steps that you can take. But number two, it educates you on your beliefs. Now, once you have this belief system of profile funnel working, what he does is when you look at his Instagram, his story sequences, it's all about targeting the next awareness level. So think about it like this. Imagine this to be the funnel, right? So your top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Let me explain this in a better analogy so you understand this. Let's say your clients need a ball to fix their main issue. To get the ball, they need to have fixed the issue of not having leather. To fix this issue, they need to know what a ball is. What he's doing is he's talking about what the ball is, then he's telling you the exact method to get the leather, and then essentially people are paying because he's giving you the ball. So what he does is that he's talking about the profile funnel, so he's educating you on the ball, then he tells you exactly how to leverage it, the leather, then he sells you the profile funnel itself. It logically makes sense for people to buy. Let me give you another example. Let's take a look at Subi. If I wanted to scale to 100k a month, this is what I do, full course. Does he walk you through the steps? Of course he does. But what does he also do? What does he also do in terms of belief breaking? He is showing very important things inside of these videos, which is credibility. Overall, not even credibility, ability. He is showing ability in what he does. Take a look at this. Ability. He gives the steps and he's giving and showing that he has ability. If you take a look at his Instagram, let's take a look at his Instagram. If you take a look at his Instagram and all of the reels he posts, you'll notice this one thing. It's all about just showing ability. Ability that I can do things. Ability that I can do things. That is the belief breaking system that he's tapping into. Nick has a lot of social proof. He doesn't need to tap into that. He needs to tap into the concept of the profile funnel. This is the same exact thing I did. Instead of trying to educate people on personal branding and showing them the intricacies of it, I just educate the belief systems associated with personal branding and then basically give them the right solution to it. So my content strategy is very different because I don't sit down and, think of making videos. I just have conversations and I record those conversations, and those conversations become my content assets. And because these conversations are breaking down belief systems and objections my leads, my prospects have, essentially I'm creating a scenario in which every single prospect that has any sort of objection, I've already destroyed it in the fucking videos. You see how high leverage it is. I can show you my Instagram profile right now. And I'll show you the difference. I posted this reel back in July 29th. It got 63,000 views. The same sort of reel you can see here. 900 views. Why did this happen? Why did this happen? Look at this. 1.6k views. Nothing. Another one. Like, you see, because markets are sophisticated, the same thing will not work. What worked in July will not work right now, so you have to pivot. I've pivoted and I've figured out something that works for me. That's what I'm leveraging in my own strategy. That's how you build these strategies. That's how you build these systems. Because unless you understand this, you're never going to be able to track your ICP or anything for the matter. So, how do you leverage this for yourself? Forget about attracting your ICP, forget about all that. You don't need that. What you need to focus on is attracting your ideal viewer. Because what's going to happen is, once you attract your ideal viewer, your ICP is going to be a part of that ideal viewer. Think about this. If you want to attract your ideal client has to be your ideal viewer, right? Your ideal client has to be your ideal viewer. Because if they're not the ideal viewer, they won't be your client. So forget about attracting your ideal client, focus on attracting the ideal viewer. But what does that even mean? So, how do you define an ideal viewer? An ideal viewer is exactly, first of all, who has the money to buy your stuff, who has the awareness level of what you sell, and who has trust in you. That's it. It doesn't matter where they're from, it doesn't matter what country they're from, it doesn't matter how ugly or beautiful they look, it doesn't matter. They have the money, they have the awareness, and they have the trust. Because think about this, if they don't have the trust, they're not going to buy. If they don't have the awareness, they're not going to buy. If they don't have the money, they're not going to buy. These are the only three core components that actually constitute your ideal viewer. And if you don't believe me, try this out for yourself. Try this out for yourself. You're going to see the difference. This is the main concept that I want you to understand. This is entirely what changed my perspective. This is what gave me the direction. I'll be honest with you guys here. My personal brand was suffering a lot. It was very demotivating. I was fucking up. Things were not going good. But guess what? I figured it out. Markets are sophisticated, and leading with problem solution driven content is irrelevant at this point. Because what matters most is, think about it like this. The YouTubers, the videos that you remember right now, which have changed your life, they didn't give you the information. Yes, they did. Yes, but that's not the core driver. It wasn't because they gave you like the 7-step process that you were like, wow, this video changed my life. It's because it changed your life. It changed the way you think. If the way you believe is how you see the world and your world changed, that means your beliefs changed. So why are you still focused on creating videos that solve problems? No, change those belief systems. This is how you win. If you're seeing this right now, you've been watching for the past 12 minutes. You know what I'm saying is valuable, but you need to act on it fast. Because guess what? By the end of this year, even this strategy is going to become obsolete. You need to be at the top of the game. You need to be ahead of the curve. You need to understand all of these things. This is exactly how you win. This is it. You can message me on Instagram if you want to. You can check my profile in the description to know that I'm not a scammer. Don't sacrifice your future self for the pleasure today. Peace.